Hi everyone, it's Ali and welcome back to another Lawn Fawn Lovers YouTube collaboration video. This month's theme was summer, so I've made this cute triple easel card with the Lawn Fawn set that's really beachy and summery looking as well. So hope you enjoy it. It looks quite difficult, but it actually is quite easy to make. The original card that I did with this triple easel design was this fairy one that I posted on Instagram, and lots of people requested a video. So I thought that as I was going to be doing a video for the Lawn Fawn Lovers YouTube collaboration, that I would do another one and show you how I constructed it as well, so that you can get an idea of how to do it. So the set I've used this time around is the Life is Good set from Lawn Fawn, which I've only just purchased, and you just need some dies, some different 3 different sizes of dies, and you can use any shape that you want really, depending on perhaps the theme of your card. And I'm just going to use a heavyweight white card there that I'm folding a long ways, and then I'm going to put my dies along that fold so that it doesn't quite cut at the top, so that it's joined at the top, and it almost makes 3 little oval cards almost, so that they open up like that. And then that top section you actually fold down like so, and fold to meet the other side, and then you cut another piece, which I'm doing now, for each of the front panels that you're going to stick on there. So I've just cut those out, one of each size, and that is how they stick on the front of each of the pieces. And then the bottom sections are stuck onto each other in front of one another, like so. So I'm just going to start by colouring up the bases, and I want to make it look like a sandy beach, so I use the tea dye Distress ink, and I'm just covering all of the bases with that, and then I'm also going to cover all of the front pieces with the tea dye colour as well. And I went over it a couple of times backward and forward. I also added antique linen, that Distress ink colour as well, because I find that gives a really nice sandy looking colour. And now I'm going to just go in with my Copics and do some dots to make it look textured and sandy. So you can leave this bit out if you just like it plain, but I like to put the little dots on to make it look like the sandy beach. And I just used a couple of different colours of Copics there to get that dotted look. And then that's how the pieces stick on the front of each of the little base pieces. I found it easier to lay them flat and then stick it on so that you could line it all up properly. And then it sits up like so. So it's quite easy, a little bit of die cutting, but the actual assembly of it is quite easy. And then the last piece, the biggest section, sticking that on too. And then all of the pieces adhere to the next one. You put a little bit of tape or whatever underneath each piece and stick them to the next piece. Now I was able to use almost all of the images out of this set, so if you like to get good use out of all your stamps, this is a great card for it, because you've got lots of area to cover, and so you can use a lot of different stamps. And I'm going to use just a Copic friendly ink to stamp out with. And usually with my first stamping with my Misty, I've gotten to the habit now of just pressing quite lightly for that first stamping, and then making sure that it's still, all tucked in the corner and all in position, and then going in with another stamping and pressing just a little bit firmer on that second go. I think I was finding that with my Misty stamping I was pressing too hard on the first go, and it was actually not giving me a very good image, so I'm using this technique now. I don't have time to show you all of my colouring in the video today, so I'm going to just give you an idea of how I've sort of slightly changed my colouring technique a little. I'm going with my darkest colour first, as usual, and then I'm going in with the next, sort of a close colour to that one. And then my last colour, instead of picking the next step down sort of colour, I pick quite a light colour, so that then I get quite a big variation between my lightest colour and my darkest colour. And I just find that this tends to give the image a little bit more depth, a bit more interest, and it does look better in photos and also in real life. And it's a little bit different to how I used to do it. I I used to do it with, numbers that were sort of 2 or 3 apart, but now I pick quite a light colour, and I think that one's like a YR20 or something like that, the lightest colour. And then I go back in with my dark, my next colour down, and then go to my lightest again if I need to go over it a couple of times. And yeah, I'm really liking it. So if you're looking at just changing up your Copic colouring a little bit, you could try that sort of technique as well and see how you go. So I've just coloured all my images in, and I don't have the dies for this set, unfortunately. So I had to do quite a bit of fussy cutting. I don't mind the odd fussy cutting here and there, but I have actually bought the dies for this set. And I must apologise because then I kept going and I forgot that I'd stopped recording on my phone. So I had joined the base pieces together, and then I'd started to put on my little elements before I realised that I wasn't recording. So that's how it folds flat. So when it stands up, you can see from the side, you can actually see the backs of those ones that are folded are white, and you could colour that with Distress ink if you didn't like that white showing, but it didn't bother me too much. Then I decided that I should have really done some blue on that back piece for the sky, but I just cut out a piece of blue card and die cut it as well so that it formed like the sky on that very back oval. And then I'm going to stick on a couple of puffy white clouds as well, just to make it look cute and have a few things popping up beyond the sort of oval shape. And then I'm just adding all of my shells and little bits and pieces on. You can add more if you want to, and you could also put a sentiment on that last back piece, so when you sat it flat and posted it, you would have a sentiment, when you opened it. And I decided I needed a little sentiment on the front as well, because the thongs weren't quite enough, or the flip-flops, we call them thongs in Australia, weren't quite enough to hold the front bit, so I just put a little sentiment on there to hold it too. And that's the card. So really quite simple to put together. I hope you enjoyed it, and please make sure that you check out the other collaborators' videos, which will be in the description below. And here's a few more of my videos that you might enjoy watching. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Really appreciate all your comments, and I will see you again next time.